As teenagers get ready for the summer, there's one thing many of them will not be doing: working. The number of teens employed has dropped nearly 30% since 1978.
Instead, today's teens are more likely to be enrolled in summer school rather than working. Here to weigh in, CEO of the Silent Partner Marketing, Reyes.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
What's behind all this?
Well, I think a big part of it is if you look at their parents, we're looking at 40 to 55 years old. A lot of their parents had to work their butts off from 15 to 20 years old, and they felt like they lost a small portion of their childhood. Now kids are growing up faster than ever thanks to Instagram and Facebook, and I think parents are trying to hold on to that childhood for their kids and aren't pushing them into the workforce.
Yeah, but those summer jobs teach you, I think, often so much more about the real world than any studies ever will. I think we all work summer jobs, and we all can relate to that. What are the tips that you have for working a summer job?
I mean, first of all, treat any job as if it was a career. When you think about a job, whether you're scraping a grill or flipping burgers or cleaning toilets, it's really difficult to think through towards the end of the day. But if you think about this as a long-term goal and something that's setting you up for success in the long run, it makes it a little bit more palatable.
Our own Clayton Morris, he worked at McDonald's, for example.
Nice.
I don't know how that prepared him for this show, but I'm sure if he were on the couch, he would have a reason.
It prepares you for the eating that you have to do.
Well, and that does bring it to the pay, because these aren't, they're not high-paying jobs, but it's still a net win when you think about if you were to instead spend the day, go grab a burger and a shake or go to a theme park, you're spending money as opposed to making money, and you're building a long-term relationship with people as well.
So crucial that you mentioned that, because one of the other things you go into is time management. I know the summer that I was working as a waiter at that restaurant that you saw. By the way, that's not me. That's Joe Piscopo. Very confusing. He was at the restaurant one night. But I was doing that while also working at my dad's office, and then was contemplating. I think also that summer I did an internship at a place over somewhere in the city. I'm not going to say where, another TV station. But that's the crucial part of time management that you have to do when you become a real worker. There's Joe Piscopo and the owner, Jerry Frangillo, of the restaurant. I'm nowhere in that picture. It's summer of '97, but yeah, so the time management is a crucial thing that you need to do in the real world.
It's huge, and you have to work to earn that. You're not going to learn how to strike that balance between home life and work life, or school life and work life, if you're not thrown into that environment, which brings us to the fact that in the real world, you have to earn everything you have.
Absolutely.
There are no participation trophies. The workplace is a meritocracy, and you only achieve that which you worked hard to achieve.
That is such a great point. So my first real job was an intern at our local station in Salt Lake City, Utah. And there's a picture of one of those internships, but my job was working for Good Things Utah. It was their morning program. I would wash the dishes for all the cooking segments. I would open up their mail, and it gives you a sense, because the jobs aren't pretty. They aren't necessarily fun, but I loved every single minute because I loved television. I knew that that was the path that I wanted to go on. It also taught me responsibility.
Absolutely. A lot of, if you think about the education system these days too, parents will complain if the kids aren't pushed through the system. So you're paying $40,000 or $50,000 a year. The education system wants to move you through that. In the real world, if you're not hustling and you're not earning that, you are out of a job. And so, again, meritocracy is key when it comes to the work environment.
Yeah, my dad ran a supermarket, so I worked at a supermarket, ShopRite on Long Island here in New York.
Please tell us there's a photo.
Yeah, I need to see the can photo.
Well, I wasn't it, but there's me and my dad. That's actually at the Baseball Hall of Fame, but around the time that I started my first summer job. And you just, also just like getting out of bed and having to be there by 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something like that. I mean, now millennials are kind of sleeping in a little bit.
Not all of us. I mean, there are a handful of good ones out there. I hired them all.
Right.
But you also don't want to burn bridges. That's another key component, because it's not just about running into that boss down the road. It's the fact that you're going to want him for a job reference, or you're going to want that boss or your coworkers when you apply for your first apartment.
Absolutely. So keep sending us in your photos of your first summer job. We will be showing them throughout the morning.
And give us a story about it, like why you did that job.
Yeah.